Hi, this is Flo again, and I'm going to do the card feature on the Tags, Bags, Boxes and More 2 cartridge on the E2. I have done one very similar on the Expression and showed people how to do the cards, the envelopes, and to put the scoring on with the Expression. But I thought I would do one for the E2 because there's just a few little tips and tricks that if you don't have these things, or if you're unaware of these, then you might not actually get them to line up. Now the first thing is that if you've got 5 icons here on the front, you will have a multi-tool button in your settings, and the first thing you've got to do is, if you haven't got 5 here and you've only got 4, then update your E2. When you do that, if you go into the settings button and go through the settings, you will come to the global one. Now, once you've updated, you will find that if you press I'll go back here a minute so that you can actually see this. If you press your magnify button and hold it on, it will tell you what the button name is, and this one is Apply All. So I'm now going to hit the Apply All button, and this is your relative size, this is your real dial size, your paper saver mode, and now if I take this off, you'll see this tool here, and again, if we push our finger on the magnify button and hold it on here, it says multi-tool, and that's the one that you need to have turned on if you're going to get your things lined up on the E2. Now some people are unaware of that, and because of that their scores don't line up. So we're just going to save that now and go back to the beginning, and I'm going to go right back to the beginning and choose the cartridge and choose the card making feature, and here I will pick a card or envelope to do. Now some of them are cards and some of them are envelopes, but unless you know which ones, you're not really sure of what's happening. Now on the website, if you go to Cricut.com, you will find that if you go to Tags, Bags, Boxes and More 2 and go to the details, you will find that there is a download that you can have, which is Tags, Bags, Boxes and More 2, Make Cards and Envelopes with Fun Phrases. And that's what it looks like. Just put that up there so that you can see, and it shows you some of the cards, and it will tell you whether it's an inside phrase or whether it's an outside phrase. These particular ones on this page are all inside phrases. Some of them are outside phrases. Particular one on 28-29, if I can get that one on there, that particular one is both an inside and an outside phrase. What I will do is I will show you the Easter one, which is exactly the same one that I did on the Expression, because if I do this, then people who are looking at both videos will be able to see the similarity and the differences. Right, I'm going to press the Easter one, which is on the Easter basket, and I think it's this one. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 across, and the third row down. So depending on how you number your cartridges or your overlays, that's that one. And if we go back to the main screen now, you'll find that that's way too small, because it actually tells us that we need to do this at 5 inches. So I'm now going to change my height on this. Again, going to this and going to 5 inches. There we go, and we've got 5 inches on the card. Now actually that's the envelope there, and you'll see that it's put the envelope on. I've just put a sheet of paper on my mat this time, and I'm now going to draw this for you rather than cut it, and then you will see how it draws. So I'm now going to load mat. I have my drawing pen loaded, and I'm going to go cut. Now if you look very closely, I'll zoom in, you can see that that's actually drawn the outside of the envelope. Now I'm going to go back and select the score lines for this. Now in selecting the score lines, I'm actually going to initially show you that if we go back to here and we put the shift on and then pick the same button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and go back, hopefully this will, it didn't do it. What it's done here is it appears to have put them directly one underneath the other, and some people have had this problem. This causes a great deal of concern because it then doesn't jump to a second page, which you can do it. So I've done this specifically so that you can see this, and if I go back here and I put the cursor between the two, come on, jump between the two, there it is, and I do no, I didn't want to do a space button, I wanted to do a down button, so this is a line return button, and we don't have enough line returns in there. So I will go back, and I'll just take that back space out, and I'll do another line return. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get it onto the second page. Now if you have this problem and you're needing something to go onto the second page, the line return is the easiest way to do that. Now hopefully this will have now put that scoring lines onto the second page, and I'm going to, if I was doing scoring, I would be swapping out my blade to put the scoring lines. What I'm actually going to do is just show you these score lines, and instead of unloading the mat, I'm just going to go cut it. And I will show you now that that has actually done the scoring lines in the middle, and I'll now unload the mat and show you what that's done. Now if I hold it back far enough, yes, do that, you can see that that has actually drawn out the envelope part of it, right? And it's drawn it, and that square box in the middle is actually the scoring line, so you can see that they actually line up well. Now we'll go on to the card. I'm now going to actually backspace these off here. I'll go clear all by using the X, and I will now go to the card feature again, and I'm now going to choose, instead of the lattice box, I'm actually going to choose the ornament one, and it's the card feature on the ornament side, and this is the one that will now give us the card that fits the envelope for the envelope that's on page 49. Envelope's on page 49, and the card that goes with it is on 48. Now there is 2 sentiments that can go on this card. One's on 48, one's on 49. So that's why I was after that one. Now I'm going to put that on, and again I'm going to try the scoring with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. because remember we're doing the scoring for that. And again, you can see that it's put the scoring directly underneath it. So now I'm going to go back, and between the there and the scoring, I'm actually going to add 2 line returns, because 2 line returns I've worked out puts the scoring on the next page. So now again I will draw this out for you and you'll be able to see where it goes. So first of all, I'm going to put the card on there, and we will draw the... Now it's actually drawn the card, and I will tilt the camera just so that you can see and zoom back. Now it's drawn the card here. Now I'm now going to go back up here and zoom in on here again, because we had them on 2 different pages, you can see that it's gone straight to the second page and it's ready to do our scoring. And that's what I'm going to do now. I'm just simply going to press the cut button again, and it will do our scoring. And I'm sorry about the noise my machine makes, but it works beautifully, and so I put up with it. Now what it's done now is, if I zoom back out and show you down here, it's put 2 lines down between on the card to do the scoring. And I'm now going to show you how we go back up and we put the sentiment on, and I will do the sentiment and show you how that lines up. So now I'm going to go back up here, and I will take those out because I don't need them anymore, and I'm going to go to the sentiment, which is on the phrase shadow card phrase layer, which is the phrase shadow card phrase layer. It's the Happy Easter sentiment, and these sentiments are made to be done with the gel pen. So if I now put that on there, the Happy Easter you'll see goes on the right hand side of your screen. Now if you were thinking that the sentiment went on the envelope, you would wonder why it didn't line up. And that's why. It's actually designed to go on the card. And now I'm going to push the cut button again. I've got my gel pen in to show you, and what I will do is put that in and show you where it cuts on the page or draws. I shall just... Now, if you look very closely, you will see that Happy Easter has been drawn on the right hand side of the card. I'm now going to unload my page, and I will show you where Happy Easter has been drawn on the right hand side of the page. That's the card that's been drawn out. There's 2 windows in it, and the Happy Easter is the sentiment on the inside. Now this is the little card that comes out. It's a trifold card. With this one it cuts out a little window on the inside. Sorry about the lights flickering on that, but I've put a little owl in there, and I've made the little owl so that it moves, and that's the Happy Easter that was drawn out with the gel pens, and that's the card that now actually fits inside the envelope, and the envelope I made, and you can see that it wiggles up and down to match the side of the card, and the card actually fits inside the envelope, and you can put it together like that. And so that's your envelope to go with the card. Hope you enjoyed watching.